% of the South African population suffering from migraines, we hope to learn something today from Dr. Shevel. One thing, however, we never notice is that stress plays a big part in ending up with migraines and headaches. We had a chat with a lady who counsels people using drama therapy. Sean, welcome to Shape Your Life.
Thank you.
What is drama therapy?
Drama therapy is a form of psychotherapy using the creative arts as a platform for
Big part in ending up with migraines and headaches. We had a chat with a lady who counsels people using drama therapy. Sean, welcome to Shape Your Life. Dr. Shevel. One thing, however, we never notice is that stress plays a big part in ending up with migraines and headaches. We had a chat with a lady who counsels people using drama therapy. Sean, welcome to Shape Your Life.
Thank you.
What is drama therapy?
Drama therapy is a form of psychotherapy using the creative arts as a platform for healing and growth. So instead of sitting and talking about things, we use the art form as a way in to express yourself and to work through things that need to be worked through.
Sean, what type of patients do you see? Any specific age?
Absolutely anyone. I've worked with 3-year-olds, children on the autistic spectrum, all the way up to 96-year-olds, people with dementia and Alzheimer's, adults like you. It's client-centered. So basically, I tailor-make the sessions according to what's coming up in the session and according to what the person is able to work with.
Now, for people who are dealing with many different facets of stress in their lives, but also, baggage of the past, it affects couples, it affects marriages, it affects families. What would your advice be to them when it comes to dealing with it, but incorporating drama therapy as a component of the weaponry to manage it?
It feels like that's a real multi-layered kind of question, but what I really believe is that communication is fundamental. And the challenge is that we can be communicating through words, but not really communicating, not really allowing ourselves to express what's happening for us. So my feeling is that actually sometimes you need to be in a space with a therapist where you can start to express yourself and explore what's going on in the relationship and between you in a creative way where you can begin to understand each other from different perspectives, because we communicate on so many levels. So I would really be interested in focusing around how can we find different ways of communicating and different ways of learning and experiencing what the other person is trying to say or what the other person is actually feeling.
Life is stressful, and finding that balance both at home and at work is always a tricky exercise. And without balancing the scales at some point, it will obviously compound, and headaches, migraines, and other physical manifestations will come through. But I know there's some interesting cards that you've got hidden around here. What do you have in store for me today?
So I've got a number of story cards that are here, and I thought you could pick one.
Okay.
And then this is sometimes the way in that we use at the start of a session. And then I'm just going to ask you to tell me a little bit about the story that's happening there.
No pressure. Okay, let's pick one.
And the beautiful thing about drama therapy is that we really believe that there's no right or wrong way of engaging from your perspective. So there's no story that I'm waiting to hear. I'm really just here to listen and to be open to what it is that you bring and what it is that you offer.
All right, I got my card. I didn't have to go any further. I just saw it, and for some reason, it just appealed to me.
Exactly. So that's the thing. We don't want you to think about it. We want you to just spontaneously respond to what you see. So
all right.
Can you show us the card?
There's the card.
Beautiful. Let me take the other
right card.
Great.
Okay.
So just take a look at the card for a moment for yourself.
Okay.
And I'd like for you to just begin to imagine where this landscape could be. Where in the world, or maybe out of this world, in another world. And I'd also like for you to just begin to imagine what's going on in this card. Maybe there are particular characters that are here or that have been here. Maybe there's a particular event that's happened. And you can just tell me whatever it is that comes to mind.
Well, firstly, I think location-wise, definitely in the Maldives. There's something about it. Lately, it's been very on Instagram and social networks, a lot of images and stories about the Maldives, the serenity, the peace of it, the beauty of it, the combination of it being an outlying area but still habited by quite a few people,
Yes.
and the serenity associated with it. And I think that is something that for me is appealing, because that balance of work-life balance and finding that peace within is always a battle.
Yes.
So it's about finding that in here.
And this is the kind of landscape that you really find serenity and peace in.
I definitely do. I mean, I hate the beach. When I stand on my toes in dirt, it doesn't appeal to me. However, I love the ocean. And within the ocean, I find a lot of, there's rhythm.
Yeah.
And the rhythm then begins to speak to you from your breathing, from your heart rate. There's just something very hypnotizing about it. So I love that. And this is very calming. And I see the steps that are here as well. Not steps or marks here. I don't know what it is. Maybe a horse footprint or something. But I see it as being a journey that hasn't ended.
Yes.
So you're coming from somewhere, good or bad, mistakes or great, memories good, memories bad, and continuing on that journey. But at the junction here, at the end of it, it's the choice you've got to make of, what do I do now? Do I learn and amend, or do I continue in the same vein?
Beautiful. Yeah.
So that's where it is, and I can see myself walking that journey.
Great.
You know?
So maybe you can just take a moment just to allow yourself to really imagine that you are there. Just imagine it, that you could actually breathe in the sea air, that you could hear the sounds of the crashing waves, that you could really take in the serenity of those surroundings with the knowledge of where you've been, the knowledge of where you're going to. Just one foot in front of the other, just experiencing being there in that space. And the great thing about working with images like this is that I would encourage you, if you were a client of mine, I would encourage you to go back to this image through your day. And it's such a quick way of coming back to a sense of serenity, because I can already see you've relaxed and your breathing is a little bit more calm. So at any point in time, you could just take a moment and be there.
A beautiful reference point.
Yeah.
Because it's literal in picture, verbalized the experience, emotionalized it as well, internalized it. So that's the key thing. And really, you're right. You feel calmer. Like when you said, imagine the smell of the ocean. You feel that sand, like or dislike is irrelevant, but you feel it as you walk through, etc. So wow, this is an entry point into drama therapy ultimately.
Working with story, working with the body, working with spontaneous play, which is what we did. So,
Wow.
Working with images,
I love
symbols.
this. Because, many people express themselves physically, and verbally is very difficult at times. Wow. As simple as that as an entry point in. Thank you for that wonderful piece of advice and tips. And I'm sure the viewers out there will begin to look at it in a different way and realize although it's labeled as therapy, it's more therapeutic to the soul and the body and your lives.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time today and joining us in Shape Your Life.
Pleasure.